No, I'm going to do two or three. Okay, good evening. Hi, my name is Michelle Urick. I'm a first-year BSN student at Galen School or College of Nursing, and tonight I'm talking about recycling your body. And I am a recovering carboholic. The presentation is part of my journey that I've experienced in the last year and a half with a weight loss event that I've had. I was actually 260 pounds back in February of 2018, and by October of 2018 I had dropped 100 pounds. So I went from 260 pounds to 160 pounds. And this was all by education, food choices, and intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting is what brought me to autophagy. So autophagy is a metabolic state. We all do it. When you go to sleep 6 to 8 hours and you don't have anything in your stomach, your body starts to recycle itself. The science behind autophagy, what this means, in layman's terms, it's kind of like going into a hoarder's house. There's piles of stuff, and you clean everything out that's not needed or functional in that house. If you don't need it, it gets moved off and removed, recycled into something better or more improved. And this includes precancerous cells. It develops new brain pathways. It includes neuro pathways, skin development, stomach enzymes that are replaced also. So that's a normal autophagy event. So some of the foods that will actually increase autophagy, so after you've actually gone through a natural autophagy event, sleeping, you can extend that time of autophagy, recycling your body, by having food choices. And some of the food choices that I use in my daily diet includes, I want to talk about coffee or chocolate first. Coffee and chocolate are my favorite. But chocolate is a great ingredient that increases your autophagy. I use 100% cacao, I use organic, I use non-GMO. One of the scientific studies behind coffee was a study done by Katz and Daughtry in 2011 that cocoa and chocolate in human health and disease. That was the study. They found that cocoa consumption was associated with a significant lower cardiovascular and all-cause mortality. Now that in itself is a benefit in your health, and it also promotes autophagy in your body. You want to use organic. I use 100%, 100% non-GMO and 100% cacao. Now the next ingredient I also incorporate in my diet would be coffee. I always love coffee. You want to choose organic and non-GMO products. Make sure it's not rancid. You actually can buy coffee off the shelf that is rancid. So to smell it, make sure it doesn't smell acidic, preferably whole bean coffee. Now the science behind coffee, there was a study done by Petrocoli in 2014. The science was, this study was called Coffee Which Induces Autophagy in Vivo. They found that coffee is associated with an inhibition of several metabolic diseases, as well as the reduction in overall cause-specific mortality. So this data actually obtained suggested that it is an anti-cancer effect and also promotes autophagy. One more thing I'd love to talk about would be olive oil. Okay, olive oil is another great thing to induce autophagy. There was a study done by a scientist, Priziadossi, I can't say his name correctly. This was recent, actually, 2019. The study was called Anti-Cancer Potential of Olive Oil and the Polyphenols of Olive Oil. So separately, olive oil does induce autophagy. You can use it in your diet. Just drink it, put it on your salads. You don't want to cook with it necessarily because it has a low heat tolerance. If it smokes, it's actually going to turn it into it turns it into an inflammatory oil, so you don't want to eat it or consume it after that. So those are three of the studies that I had. Green tea is another one. Just to touch on this pair just briefly, there was a study done in 2019 also. So Tsukusomi, some of these names are hard for me to pronounce, Chisatsu, Suvamarathi, and Parath. So their study was actually called the Review and Role of Green Tea. Certain conditions such as eczema, edema, sunburns, hyperplasia, premature aging, and the development of new skin cells. So let's go ahead and close with this opportunity to have taught you something, maybe about your own self or your food choices. And just remember that you are recycling yourself, and what you put in is what you make yourself out of. So thank you very much.